right, welcome back to another episode of Mom's Basement. This is Season 3 episode where we talk about the top 10 preseason rankings, where we think the NFL is going to start. After the draft, you'll probably hear this list change completely. Again, we're trying to go for 100 subscribers. Today we have Alex joining us in the top 10 again because he's done so well with the top 11 through 32. Helped me make fun of Ryan, which isn't really making a good deal out of this. Ryan, welcome back.
What's well coming out of this, but
this is like, okay, the top 10 in the NFL, it's going to be hard to decide because AFC's tight. NFC has their teams.
Yep, you got your
okay,
powerhouses
so
in
you
there.
got 1 through maybe 13 that could be interchangeable between. Okay, I would say maybe 5 through 13 could be interchanged. The top 4 seem pretty irreversible. Like, you could 1 through 4 could be interchanged as well. But number 10, Buffalo Ben says the Houston Texans will represent the number 10 team in the NFL.
What do you think they need to do to get higher?
Maybe update their defensive line and secondary.
Maybe not trade away their best offensive linemen.
Look, cap space is a big thing, okay? But you have to have a high-powered offense to compete in the AFC. That's a proven fact. Okay, the Texans have that high-powered offense. Now they just need to add the defense.
They lost.
When you have too high-powered of an offense like the Cincinnati Bengals, you run into a problem.
Tank Dell's not playing this year. Stephon Diggs ain't coming back.
We don't know that. No, you don't know that.
They pretty much said
You
he's not
don't
coming
know
back.
that. He could get a hometown discount because he wants the Super Bowl. You never know.
He's not going to get a Super Bowl in Houston.
You never know. I mean, this is probably going to be the AFC South champion. It's easy to say because we have the Titans lower, we have the Jaguars lower, and we have the Colts way lower. This is 6 free wins for the Texans. That's 6 wins right off the reel. You have to have them above 13 at that point. So look at that. You have them at 10. I have them at 10.
Going 6-0 in the division.
no.
They probably won't. But you know what? With the way it looks, it could happen, okay? Like the Bills last year. You said, oh, the Bills aren't going to go 6-0. If they didn't have to play the last 3 games of the season, Ryan, you would have owed me. You would have owed me a lot of
Well, that's
things.
because the Jets crapped the bed, so.
The Jets did crap, so did the Dolphins, in your opinion. But I didn't think that either one of them would be that good. Okay, who's your number 10? Ryan.
Mine is the Los Angeles Chargers.
Ooh, this is the second time we've mentioned the Chargers. We still have to mention them one more time.
Are you kidding me? What?
I'm going to surprise you, Alex. You're probably going to pass out, but that's okay. I know CPR.
I mean, they just
certified
signed Najee Harris. I mean, that's not a huge signing, but he can at least stay healthy, unlike J.K. Dobbins.
Yep.
And they got Mr. Injury back, Mike Williams.
I'd take the unhealthy J.K. Dobbins over Najee Harris.
Same. But I think with Harbaugh as the coach, they are turning that organization around. They'll get way better this year, and I think they're going to be really good this year. I don't hate Chargers at 10. What is your 10, Alex?
The Indianapolis Colts.
And I think this is where we lost all of our subscribers.
I hope you're right.
Yeah. I like to be hopeful, but like we talked about earlier, it's either gonna be hit or miss. I don't know, but I think if they start AR, Jonathan Taylor stays healthy. They got Khalil Herbert from Cincinnati, so I don't know.
I mean, I like the faith in your team this year, man.
We need a tight end.
When you say it could go either way, I think you're swinging way too high on this way.
No.
I think you have a lot of confidence that this could potentially. I mean, you're betting the stars.
Well, they're going to be
this could
consistent
happen.
all season. They're either going to have a winning record or they're just
They're going to have a top 5 pick.
yeah, one of the two.
One of the two.
So they're going to be either really good or really bad, nothing in between.
Yeah.
In their conference, I think you could have an in-between team.
I mean, they finished, 8-9?
That's right in
the
middle.
last, 3 years or something like that?
Yeah.
Yep.
9-8, 8-9.
Look, they're kind of like the Buffalo Bills in the 90s after they lost all the Super Bowls. They just stayed mediocre for a long time.
They haven't won the division in over a decade.
And like you said, we're going to continue to talk about the Indianapolis Colts because you guys are Colts fans, and I'm really
Not.
the only one that's, legitimate about the Colts. Like, the organization's a dumpster fire. Like, okay, yeah.
Dude, I played football for Elmhurst High School, my man. It's the same thing.
If you're not from Indiana, Elmhurst High School closed, okay? And that was the team
while
that never
ago.
won a game for the longest time.
They were on ESPN for a 0-76 losing streak.
James Hardy was the one that made him on ESPN because
Yep.
he single-handedly beat Bishop DeWinger. guess where he went? The Buffalo Bills. Rest in peace, the dude committed suicide, but still, rest in peace, James Hardy. He was a Buffalo Bill, great guy.
Went to Indiana.
Beat Bishop Dwenger. Yep, he did.
Losers.
He was really well. Number 9, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers, assuming Aaron Rodgers starts for the Steelers.
What if it's Mason Rudolph?
22nd.
Right where I have them. We had that conversation in the last 2 episodes ago.
I still think with the offense that they have, he can do something. He's kind of like the Anthony Richardson, right? I guess this is where I eat my own words. It could be really good or really bad. But the difference between the Colts and the Steelers is their organization is actually put together with coaches and staff. They're fine. They know how to handle their players.
Tomlin's a Hall of Fame coach, so.
And you can't count him out of having a winning season. He's never had a losing season. And they've even talked about that on ESPN. Never had a losing season. I thought last year was their chance, and I was wrong. Before they had Russell Wilson, I thought that was their chance. I was wrong. I have them high. Guess what? I'm going to be wrong. I can never get the Steelers right. Who do you have, Alex, at your number 9?
Houston.
Houston. Wait, I just thought you said the Colts are going to win the division.
Look, man, 9 and 10. 9 and 10 is completely interchangeable.
Okay.
But
fair.
I think they're both going to have a good season.
Okay.
But that's kind of like me having the Titans up there too. I mean, that division, you never know.
Garbage.
It's garbage. It's going to go one way or the other.
And you have all 3 of those teams in the top 15?
No, the Jags are at 23.
Where's your Titans?
13.
So you have 3 in the top 15
Yeah.
in the South. You see where you might have messed up.
Yeah.
Ryan, who's your number 9?
I have the Denver Broncos.
I don't hate that. Sophomore slump, though. That's the only thing I'm going to be like, do you really think that could happen?
I mean, it's a possibility. But
It is a proven fact that it has not been – there's not been a single person that had a sophomore slump.
But they played really well at the end of last year. Bo
Sophomore
Nix,
slump.
I don't know. I don't.
Do you remember the Justin Fields comment?
I do.
Do you remember how no, he's not going to have a sophomore slump. He's going to win 17 games out of 17.
I did not say he's going to go undefeated.
No,
but
you said
Didn't he play like 8 years of college?
Justin Fields?
Bo Nix.
Oh. He might have. I don't think that's possible, but I think, well, because COVID, he got to redshirt for COVID. He might have played 6.
But either way, I think he's going to have – I don't think he's going to have a huge sophomore slump if he does have one. I think he's going to have a decent year. Did they ever get a running back? Because Devontae Williams went to Dallas. I don't
probably TBD. I
Yeah.
don't know if they're going to extend who they had or if they are going to draft, which the draft class is pretty good with running backs. I
mean,
wouldn't spend money on a running
They
back.
don't have
unless it's
any.
Saquon.
They don't have any legit superstars on offense. Maybe Cortland Sutton's their best player.
100%.
And that's, I mean, put the sophomore slump without that. I don't know. The Denver Broncos.
I'm just high on Denver this year.
You're high on Denver like you were with the Bears, so.
Don't remind me of that.
You said the Houston Texans. I said Pitt. Okay, number 8. This is where Ryan and I. This is the last time we'll mention them. Cincinnati Bengals is where I have them. Number 8. I think with that offense, the way they ended the last season on a hot streak. As a guy with Joe Burrow, you can't miss the playoffs. That's just inexcusable.
You're wasting Joe Burrow's prime.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're going to come out ready to go at number 8, I believe. They will not win their division, which is crazy. I have 3 people in the top 10 in their division.
Yeah, that's
Insane. Who's your number 8, Alex?
The Los Angeles Rams.
Okay, I'm intrigued. If Stafford doesn't
If Stafford
plays,
He's going to
okay.
play.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play, if he gets traded, how far do they drop?
I'd say they go below 17, maybe
Okay.
around 17 to 20.
Okay.
If Stafford doesn't play.
My rankings, I had them at 21 because I don't believe Stafford's going to be a Ram next year. Ryan, who do you have at number 8?
I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, you are on crack cocaine.
I got them at 7. So.
Whoa, I'm with a bunch of crack cocaine people. I mean, okay, they'll probably win. They could win their division. I still have the Falcons winning that division. I had the Falcons winning last year's division. I was close.
You were.
Okay, I don't know. There's still a lot of things that Tampa needs to work on.
I like Tampa, though. I think they're going to have a good year.
The only thing they're not doing is changing. They're staying with the same people. Mm-hmm. And if it's not working now, it's not going to work next year. They're just getting older. So that's why, I don't know, it's hard to put Tampa in the top 10. Only for that reason. Only for that reason. Number 7. This is where you're probably going to laugh at me. The Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
Yep. And I still haven't mentioned the Chargers yet, guys. Kansas City Chiefs, I have at 7. They're on the downswing. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce is be the last year for them.
But they just made the Super Bowl, man.
They were helped by the Zebras.
Here we go.
We could talk about that all you want, Ryan, and I have all the proof in the world.
I agree with that one.
Thank you.
I'm with you on that one.
So
I saw some very questionable calls out there.
We can save that for a later episode. Let's keep
in the Super Bowl, they had that first questionable offensive pass interference after the first down, and you know how many people turn off the TV? Yeah, they got a call from B-Dubs saying we just turned off the TV. Guess what? It went the Eagles' way, and they blew them out of the water. Let's just point that one out right now. I think they're going to have a run for their money, and that's why the division above them, and the one I have at 6, is going to be the division winner.
It's definitely going to be a lot tougher than it has been in years past for them.
I agree. And I think Patrick Mahomes is showing a little bit more of a – I think they finally figured out Patrick Mahomes. He had struggled the last year.
And they just traded away one of their best guards.
That's right. He's thrown more interceptions last year. He doesn't have a lot of offensive help like he used to. But again, you have Andy Reid, like Mike Tomlin. You can't count him out like that. So it's a good duo. It's a good combo. But, yeah.
I'm never betting against Reid and Mahomes. Future Hall of Famer Patrick Mahomes.
I wouldn't put money against him, but you know what? I think I'm right on this one.
Yeah.
Alex, who do you have at number 7?
I had the Bucks.
The Bucks?
I had the Bucks.
Ryan, who did you have at 7?
I have Green Bay.
Oh, man. How?
I like Green Bay. They're on the upswing. They got a bunch of young receivers. They got a young tight end. I think Jordan Love can be a decent quarterback. Their defense has been
How many
decent.
NFC teams do you have in the top 5?
1, 2, 3. In the top 5 or top 10?
Top 10. Let's go top 10.
All right, 1, 5.
So half and half.
Half and half.
But do you think the AFC is better than the NFC?
At the top, yes, but overall, I think it's pretty equal.
I think because you have the Packers so far is because the teams that they would play would not compete with the AFC. If the Packers played in the AFC, they wouldn't be a top 10 team.
I don't think so. I think if they were in the AFC, they'd still be in a top 10 team.
Maybe if they played in the South.
We're talking about the AFC, though.
We're talking about the AFC, yes.
I don't think they'd be.
How many teams do you have in the top 10 in the AFC?
In the AFC?
Yep.
5.
See, so you're half and half. I have 7 AFC teams in the top 10. That's why I don't have the Packers up there. I think there's 3 teams in the NFC that really stand out. The other ones are a little above mediocre that they'll be in the playoffs, and that's why you have to put them in the top 10. But they would not make it in the AFC at all. All right, so you have the Packers, and that was at number 7?
Correct.
All right, we're going to move to number 6 because I can't argue with you on this one because I just mind blown that you would ever put these guys in the top 10.
Wow.
This is my wild card winner this year. At 6, I have the San Diego Chargers.
Who's that?
That is the Chiefs' kryptonite.
I don't know.
Okay.
There's no team from San Diego.
Sorry.
Man.
Okay, Los Angeles Chargers. They used to be the San Diego Chargers. Stop, Ryan. You got me high on secondhand high right now because of your stupid pick. I do have them beating the Chiefs this year in the division. I think with where it stands now, they probably aren't, but I bet you they'll sign, Diggs and Allen or Diggs or Allen. I bet you they do a couple trades that might land T. Higgins there. I really think that they have the potential to beat the Chiefs this year if they do it right. And with Harbaugh there, they can do it right. So I think they'll do it. Number 6 goes to the Chargers.
They used to be the
Alex,
Colts' kryptonite.
That's right.
When
They
they
did back
when
in
they
the
had
day.
Darren Sproles.
Yeah.
They could not stop him.
Hey, man, he kept throwing the ball to Cromartie all the time.
Yeah. I have the Baltimore Ravens at number 6.
Ooh.
Spoiler alert, so do I.
Whoa! So, what does that mean, Alex? What have you learned about this podcast? If you match with Ryan, you're wrong.
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling good about that one.
Okay, so you have 5 teams better than the Ravens.
Yep.
Derrick Henry just is still with them. Who did they sign for a wide receiver? They just added. I gotta look this up.
I don't remember.
They added a big name.
I don't really think it was that big a name.
It was better than what they had,
Because their number 1 was Zay Flowers.
and I believe they added.
And they kept Andrews.
Oh, they added DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, he's wash.
But he still has hands.
He's clutch, though.
He has hands.
That's all he was. Did you see the Super Bowl?
Okay, that.
That was
gonna
that was scripted.
Take away the Super Bowl for DeAndre Hopkins.
No.
You can't have the Super Bowl represent his career because that is way different. Look at what he did.
That popcorn.
Look what he did in Arizona. That Hail Mary catch to
Against
beat the
Buffalo,
Bills
yeah.
over 6 of those guys. I mean, granted, the Bills' defense was not tall, but
And that's why I'm saying he's clutch.
He's
a clutch player because he is somewhat washed. So
but you don't need a stud number 1 in Baltimore. You need somebody that can catch, and he's that guy.
Well, they need to get over that hump because they can't win in the playoffs.
They're like the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs. Like, don't get me wrong. All right, number 5. What if we match at one of these? This is gonna be great. Number 5, I have
It's not going to be this one.
the Washington Commanders.
Ugh.
Spoiler alert, so do I.
Spoiler. That means it's wrong. Who do you have at number 5, Alex?
The Chiefs.
Okay, not too far off of where I had them. The Commanders, dang it, I thought I was really good at this pick, and now that Ryan matched, I'm really regretting it.
I
All
like
right.
what they've done this offseason.
They have done a lot this offseason, and they might even be lower than 5 to me right now. They might be a little higher. Yeah, I don't think you've mentioned them yet, have you, Alex?
No, I have not.
Okay. Number 4, I have the Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
They are probably going to be the number 1 team after the draft, but right now they got rid of a lot of stud defenders that they have gaps to fill in the defense, and that's where I don't see them repeating a Super Bowl run this year. Right now. That's why they're number 4. Now, for me, 1 through 4 could be interchanged.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
this is my number 4 team right now, but number 2 in the NFC.
You're going to disagree with me on some of my top 4, but
So who's your top 4? Don't even say the Packers. I don't want to hear it again.
we'll save that for later. My number 4, we're number 4, right?
Yes.
My number 4 team right now is the Detroit Lions.
Okay. That's who I have at 3, so that's not too far off. Alex, who do you have it for? Spoiler alert.
The Buffalo Bills.
Oh! Oh!
Checkmate.
Checkmate.
Look, I'll listen to your top 4. You might not be wrong. Like I said, 1 through 4 could be interchanged. Okay? You have the Commanders above the Bills?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
What?
You got Ben all riled up now. Look what you did.
Okay, so I'm just going to put it on there. All right.
Woosah, Ben. Woosah.
Number 3, I have the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
Ryan, you probably have the Eagles, right?
Wrong. I have the Buffalo Bills.
Oh,
yeah.
Jiminy Christmas. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Like, okay, all right. All right, I'm not going to argue. I'm going to be okay with this. This is still stabbing my heart tremendously. Who do you have at number 3, Alex?
So I had the Bills at 3, and then when we were at about 12, 13, I had to do a little switch and move them down to 4. So I have the Detroit Lions at number 3.
Okay, so Alex and I agree on a team for the first time, I think.
The Lions are tough, man.
They are.
For what they had over the last decade, they're playing tough.
I always said, and this is during the Tom Brady era, if a quarterback can win a Super Bowl with the Detroit Lions, they will be considered the greatest of all time in my book. No problem.
I really
No
wanted
question
it to be
asked.
Stafford.
So did I.
I really wanted
That
it
would have been great.
to be him.
I think the closest thing the Lions ever got to a Super Bowl was when Stafford made it with the Rams. But now that Jared Goff's here with all these weapons, like okay,
They should have been in it 2 years ago.
back it
and then
up.
they
Now
blew that-
Jared Goff might be considered the greatest of all time if he can win a Super Bowl with Detroit. Because I will stick with my words. Anybody that can win a Super Bowl in Detroit should be considered the greatest of all time.
It
Doesn't
should
matter
be
the
San
numbers or anything
Francisco.
else. Because the Detroit Lions have had the worst organization in the longest time. All right, number 2. You guys, here it is. The Buffalo Bills for me. The last time I mentioned the Buffalo Bills today, I have them at number 2.
I figured you'd have him at number 1.
Yeah.
I want to have them at number 1, but there is a team that sticks out there better than
Yeah,
the
I want to
Bills
have the
to
Colts
me.
at 1 too, but
No, gosh. If the Colts are at 1, we're just might as well just not even record anymore.
the Colts are such a second half team. I don't think they'll ever be power ranked as 1.
Or top
Ever.
10.
They might come back in the end of the
Right.
season, but preseason they'll never be power ranked at 1.
Or 10.
Or
Top 10. Mm-mm. Nope.
all right, whatever. Number
All right,
2,
Who do you have for number 2, Alex?
the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Philadelphia Eagles. See, I still don't think that that's a bad pick. Again, 1 through 4 could be interchanged, as we have already seen. Stalling because I can't find the Eagles on my PowerPoint here. There they are. Ryan?
I have future Hall of Famer Patrick
Darnold?
Mahomes
Oh.
and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Sam
at
Darnold.
number 2.
And the Seattle Seahawks. Okay. You have the Kansas City Chiefs at number 2.
Correct.
Even with everybody that they've lost in the downswing of their quarterback and all that jazz.
I
you
might
Don't forget
be
Taylor Swift.
I might be way off, but I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes.
You don't think the Chargers are going to beat them in the division?
They might, but
That's a pretty big
Until they-
gap, though. to
until
have
they
the
prove me
Chargers at,
wrong.
What, 8? You had the Chargers at 8?
I had Chargers at 10.
10 and the Chiefs at 2? That doesn't seem like that's going to be close for you.
But we'll see. But I have faith in the Chiefs. I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I love Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
I think his team needs to just play as hard as he does, because I know we are not talking about the Super Bowl anymore, but do you see Kelsey walking on the field when he's out there scrambling?
Oh,
And
yeah.
It's
Kelsey
like
kinda
as soon
gave
as
up.
he starts running, the whole team gives up and just expects him to do the rest. So,
Yeah, well, to be fair, his income also doubled when he started dating Taylor Swift because he got so much like royalties off of his jersey sales that went up 400,000 people. So congratulations on that.
So did the revenue of the
I wouldn't
NFL.
run either if I already made it. All right, number 1, Alex. Who's your number 1 team?
The Washington Commanders.
Whoa, dude! I really hope you're right because that would be really cool.
That would be
I
cool.
wanted it to happen last year, honestly.
So
the way
did I.
Jaden Daniels played all year, and
Jaden Daniels is a stud.
he is a stud.
So my brother-in-law is a Washington Commanders fan, and I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. And I've converted his son to a Buffalo Bills fan. I thought it would be a perfect Super Bowl for his son to have the Bills Commanders in the Super Bowl, so he could actually pick the team that he would want to follow.
Have
the
a
rest his
repeat of the
career.
'90s
Yeah.
Super Bowl with the same result.
We're not going to talk about that, Ryan. It's different. Okay.
It's different now.
Ryan, who's your number 1?
I have Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Wow, shocking that Ryan picked Philadelphia.
Philadelphia's tough, man. They're a powerhouse.
They are.
Even if they do lose some things on defense.
They still got
Philadelphia-
Saquon.
Yeah, that wasn't a team that needed the defense. I mean, they're going to score points.
Yeah, they're
So-
like
I
the,
mean-
the Bengals. They're going to score 40 points.
In the Super Bowl, they didn't blitz at all. They just blitzed 4 people, and they were all over Mahomes. So if they can do that in the regular season as well as the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
they're going to be tough to beat.
Yep.
I agree, but they got rid of some secondary, so we'll see if they can replace that so that they could be the same defense that they were last year.
Yeah, but they still got the same
My
offense.
number 1 team was my number 1 team last year, and I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens.
Didn't you say they were going to go?
Dang.
Didn't you say they were going to go 17-1 last or 16-1 last year,
I
Ben?
had them undefeated last year.
Yeah, that was undefeated.
I mean, adding Derrick Henry is just like, if you just did the option play the whole time, you would never lose. Play it in Madden, guys. Play it in Madden. Option play with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. You got to have 4 people try to tackle them guys.
How much longer do you think they can roll with Justin Tucker?
Oh, they're not. The Justin Tucker got drafted
Did
by
he?
the Browns.
What?
That's where all the people that go that have inappropriate behavior with women go.
That's not actual
That is-
factual, but he's still a Raven.
He is still a Raven, but I'm just saying he's more likely to be a Brown next year. He fits in with them.
And then he's going to tear his Achilles.
I know for the longest time, the Baltimore Ravens beat the Colts in the wild card.
Yep.
And they'd never scored a touchdown in the game. It was field goal for field goal for
9-6.
9, literally.
That's like the
9-6.
Steelers in them. Like they don't score touchdowns, but Lamar Jackson, man, he's got to come back with vengeance. Losing the MVP to Josh Allen. I mean, he had a ton of help. He had 9 Pro Bowlers on his
I
team.
do want him to get a ring, though.
Yeah, 9 Pro Bowlers on his team and didn't do anything in the playoffs. That's
So
just.
from your rankings, I assume you think they're winning the division?
I honestly have them losing in the AFC Championship to the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills winning the Super Bowl this year.
Here we go, every year.
In Baltimore?
It will probably
Or
be
in
in
Buffalo.
Buffalo because, and only because, Ryan, the Bills will have the number 1 seed because their strength of schedule is less than the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens division is tougher. They'll have more losses than the Bills because of that. That's the only reason.
I'm not going to argue with the Bills having the 1 seed. They have the easier path. So,
But if you look at the Bills' season right now, they're home. We have all the hard games at home, which is in our favor.
Yeah.
We have the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bengals. Man, I can't remember the 49ers. I'll have to look it up later in another episode. But yeah, we have all of our hard games at home this year, so that's a huge plus. And we were undefeated at home last year. Just throwing that out there for all the Buffalo Bills fans out there. Get excited! This our run this year, boys. Let's go!
you sound like a Cubs fan
No, I don't.
because I am a Cubs fan, and we say that every year.
Do not compare me to you ever.
Wow.
All right, that wraps up our top 10. We have the Commanders at number 1. We have the Ravens as a number 1, and we have the Eagles as a number 1. Thanks for listening to the episode of Mom's Basement. Please like, subscribe, and continue listening. Thank you again for listening to our podcast.